Hey everyone, it's Maribel Blue, and welcome to this special edition of Pathetically Unfiltered. It's hard to say Happy New Year in the first video that I'm making for 2026 to talk about the unalivement of Renee Good, who was murdered in cold blood yesterday by an ICE agent. And if you're hurt at what I'm saying, because there are a lot of people who are disputing this information, especially MAGA, mostly MAGA, not for anyone else, disputing this information, claiming that she got what she deserved. These are the same people who sit here and lie about the liberals or Democrats celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And to be honest with you, I don't recall anybody celebrating his death, with the exception of his wife, Erica Kirk. I mean, it was televised for everybody to see. So I just want to say this. Chances are the comments will be turned off for this video. I have no interest in reading any MAGA comments at all. I have no interest in anything that you have to say, because what happened here is absolutely disgusting and disturbing. So with all that being said, if you are new here, welcome to this channel. I do news and reactions, and if you are not new, welcome back. Let's get into it. I have been watching a series of different videos, one of them being the I've Had It podcast, Pod Save America, and the mayor of Minnesota, who basically told the ICE agents to get the fuck out of his city. What happened other than kidnapping the dictator of Venezuela? And I already have my notes for that video. That was the anticipation to record that first. What happened yesterday was completely unexpected, but who expects for anything like this to happen? Oh, it's because we have a dementia president, and that's why all of these things are happening. With his sidekick, Stephen Miller, who is just on this la la land where he believes this United States of America should only be the reflection of white people. So we have very sick people heading this regime who have no kind of common sense, along with JD Vance. He has zero common sense whatsoever. They are blaming this woman, claiming that she was going to run this ICE agent over. She was not. I was listening to Don Lemon and another guest that he had, and she made a lot of good points. Not everybody is in a position like this. You will panic. You will make decisions out of haste. However, does that constitute for somebody getting outwardly murdered in the street? With, I believe her child was in the car, her wife is in the car. That was a whole other thing. Oh my God, she's a liberal lesbian, so she deserved it. No one deserves it. I don't care who you love. What happened yesterday was unacceptable. It was disgusting. And this man came prepared to kill somebody. He was very prepared. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play this video from the I've Had It podcast. And I need to say in advance, there are some uncomfortable images. I may just blur the image upon editing. But like I said, everything that happened yesterday was disturbing.
Came out almost instantly. But this is immediately after this woman was executed in cold blood with taxpayer-funded money by a group like Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, and a bunch of other sociopaths. A physician tries to go in and assist this woman, and this is how he is treated. And I want to warn you before we go into this image, you can see the woman doubled over her steering wheel. So it is somewhat graphic, but we cannot sane wash or whitewash what this execution by the United States federal government was. Play the clip.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
I don't
listen,
care.
we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second.
We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the fuck do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the fuck, man?
Pumps.
You know, when she says, how do you do this every day? How do you get up for work and do this every day? They like it. They want to feel like big, strong men. So they put on their masks and all their tactical gear and they go shoot unarmed citizens because I think they're sadistic. And I think when you advertise $50,000 bonus to sign up for ICE and you get the bottom feeders of the world that have no moral and no ethics, no respect for humanity, and they're so easy to dehumanize people, they like it. The reason he gets out of bed every morning is he fucking likes it.
I cannot even begin. Like, where do you begin to try and rationalize and explain this madness? How? Because we knew, Kamala Harris said it best. She warned us, she told us, Project 2025, it was all laid out when Tim Walz said, nobody makes a playbook without the anticipation to use it. He told us that.
By now, maybe people would be applying for the $25,000 housing down payment assistance. An increased child tax credit would be lifting thousands more families out of poverty. Medicare would be helping thousands of families and people in the sandwich generation to provide home care for their elderly loved ones. People in Africa would still have access to their AIDS medications. Our global friendships and our national reputation wouldn't be in tatters. I can't help but having these thoughts when the daily barrage of bad news becomes overwhelming.
When you think about the typical MAGA person, white, not educated, doesn't dress well, doesn't eat well, I don't care if this offends you. I really don't give a fuck. These are people who Donald Trump reaches because he knows that he can tap in to that special kind of hatred these people have for Black and brown people. They were raised to believe that anything else other than being white, they were better. They were raised to believe that if you are not white, you are not good enough. You are not smart. You are not intelligent. You are dirty. You are ghetto. You are disgusting. And meanwhile, they are the representation of that. You think that Donald Trump cares about you? Do you think he cares about your well-being? I wonder about the people who fell for this madness, who were scammed. I wonder about them. At this point right now, you can't say, well, I was listening to my son or daughter or my neighbor. You have the internet. The internet is on your smartphone. You can actually talk into your smartphone and ask it questions for you to look up information. And make sure that information is verifiable because it's not coming from Fox News or Fox Entertainment, really, because they're not newsworthy. They sit there and spew the same bullshit everybody else spews. And I'll tell you what's even more disgusting. Listening to men who are Black, listening to Latinos who are for Trump, and sit there and just make all of these wild excuses for this behavior. I guess it maybe needs to compensate for your SPS, because that's your problem. So you're looking for other things to compensate for that shit, because no one is impressed. And you should be disgusted and ashamed of yourself to go against your own family, your friends, your neighbor. How does this become okay?
Gaslights the American public. Play the clip and notice the costume change.
Spoken to the president today on the situation here on the ground. I also just got off the phone a little while ago with Governor Walz and spoke to him as well. I want to reiterate first with all of you the facts of what happened today. At 10:25 a.m. Central Time, Immigration and Customs Enforcement were carrying out lawful operations here in Minneapolis. Because of the adverse weather that Minneapolis has seen in recent snow, one of the vehicles became stuck and ensnared in the snow. Law enforcement were attempting to push out this vehicle, and when a mob of agitators that were harassing them all day began blocking them in, shouting at them, and impeding law enforcement operations. ICE officers and agents approached the vehicle of the individual in question, who was blocking the officers in with her vehicle, and she had been stalking and impeding their work all throughout the day. ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle and attempted to run a law enforcement officer over. This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism. The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training to save his...
Okay, stop right there.
Defensive shots? Has anyone seen the video? Let me tell you something. Different angles of the videos are circulating. This man took a stance, whipped out his weapon, and fired it while she was trying to get away. She was not trying to kill that man. And from what I understand, we already know his name. I will not be saying it on this video. Go ahead and do the research yourself. And this is a woman who killed her dog. And yet, here we are having her run the Department of Homeland Security. This bitch should be in jail. There is no reason why she should be running anything. This is the same bitch who didn't know what to do with Donald Trump when he decided, I don't feel like taking questions. Let's play music and dance. And everybody's looking perplexed and confused. And while they were perplexed and confused because they wanted questions answered, I bet anything they still went to the voting booth and still voted for this stupid asshole. I will never believe that this man just won. I believe that there are a lot of stupid people, but I don't believe that he just won. He had help from Ilanka.
Are going to do everything possible to get to the bottom of this, to get justice, and to make sure that there is an investigation that is conducted in full. But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE. We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. And to the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's going to make you or your relatives or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better. But I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
I am going to say this in closing. There will be a lot of misinformation being spread around. And I have told people, people in my Discord, people that I know, be careful what you spread, be careful what you repost, be careful what it is that you say. TikTok is now a different world. Apparently, they're changing hands. It's going to become an American app, or there's going to be a new app, and TikTok is going to become unusable. I have no idea what is going on. I've already started separating myself from TikTok because I have noticed the changes. So, given that there will be a lot of misinformation being spread around, people sharing information for the sole purpose of propaganda, I would say, please be mindful, look up the information, verify it as much as you can. We still have news resources that we could rely on so that we will be able to use that information and educate ourselves. I woke up this morning and I was feeling extremely somber. People woke up this morning missing a family member. Could have this been avoided? Possibly. When that ICE agent tried to get her out of the car, would it have been a different circumstance had she come out of the car? We'll never know that. There's a lot of things that happen in life that we just wonder, what if? We are not going to know. We know what we know now is that an ICE agent lied about getting run over by a car, took out his gun, fired at the car that was not coming at him, and murdered a young woman in cold blood. This is what we're dealing with right now. And we didn't have to go this route. But because MAGA people are so hateful, their hate lives in their blood. Now, I can sit here and make fun of them all day long. Sure, I can. But the fact of the matter is, we have a serious problem going on in this country. We have a serious problem. How it gets fixed? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I know I keep myself informed. I keep myself educated. I listen to what other people are talking about, but we have a problem and it's not going to be fixed overnight. It's not going to be fixed on midterms. I mean, we're talking about a regime who's out causing chaos on purpose because they are hateful beings. They don't care about other people. They care about themselves and their money. That's all that matters to them. I'm perplexed. I'm disgusted. I read the comments of what other people are saying about us in other countries. It ain't good. Donald Trump has caused a chaos that will take years for us to come out of. But this is what happens when you vote in a narcissist who only cares about himself and has no empathy whatsoever. He only cares about himself. And if there are some people who were calling themselves MAGA and they're finding out, now's the time for you to realize that narcissistic people do not care about your well-being, and they never will. And hopefully, the next time you go into a voting booth, you will think twice that it's not only about you, but it's about your neighbor. It's about that little child growing up that's going to rely on you to make the right choice so that they can live in a better place. And with all that being said, this is Maribel Blue signing off. I would say let me know your thoughts, but chances are the comments will be off for this video. I will repost it on my Substack, and comments will be set up for my subscribers only. So if you're interested in joining my Substack, I will put that link down below. As always, remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.